Hi everyone, in this video session I am going to discuss about synapses regarding phenols, that is including preparations as well as chemical properties. ನಿಮಗೆ ಕಾಂಪಿಟೇಟಿವ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮಿನೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಸೊ ಆ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಕೇಳಿದಾಗ, ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ರಿಗಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಎನಿ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್, ಸೊ ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಹೈಲೈಟಿಂಗ್ ದ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ವೆದರ್ ಆನ್ reactants or on the products or on the reagents along with the conditions whatever we are applying for any particular reaction. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾದರೆ ನೀವು ಪ್ರತಿ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನಲ್ಲಿ, ಸೊ ಈ ಸಿನಾಪ್ಸಿಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ, ಸೊ ಪ್ರತಿ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಯಾವುದನ್ನು ಫೋಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಆ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ರಿಯೇಜೆಂಟ್ ಯಾವುದು, ಎಂಡ್ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಯಾವುದು, ಮತ್ತು ಆ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಕನ್ವರ್ಷನ್ಗೆ ಯಾವ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ಸ್ ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಟೆಂಪ್ರೇಚರ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಅಥವಾ ಕೆಟಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಅಥವಾ ಸಾಲ್ವೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಮೀಡಿಯಮ್. ಸೊ ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ನೀವು ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ. So very first, we can start with preparation of the phenol. Here we can prepare phenol by different methods as I have written on the board, by different processes. And here, very first process I have written, first method of conversion. Here we can start with sodium benzene sulfonate. ಈಗ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ರಿಯೇಜೆಂಟ್ ಯಾವ್ದು ತೊಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ, ಸೋಡಿಯಂ ಬೆನ್ಸಿನ್ ಸಲ್ಫೋನೇಟ್ ತೊಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಈ ಸೋಡಿಯಂ ಬೆನ್ಸಿನ್ ಸಲ್ಫೋನೇಟ್ನ ಸೋಡಿಯಂ ಹೈಡ್ರಾಕ್ಸ್ ಜೊತೆ ಟ್ರೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಫರ್ದರ್ ಆಸಿಡ್ ಹೈಡ್ರಾಲಿಸಿಸ್ಗೆ ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ H3O ಪ್ಲಸ್ ರೆಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ದ ಆಸಿಡ್ ಹೈಡ್ರಾಲಿಸಿಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಆರ್ H2O ಬಾರ್ H ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಅಂತ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ವೆನ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಟ್ರೀಟೆಡ್ ವಿತ್ ಆಲ್ಕಲಿ ಅಂಡ್ ದೆನ್ ಫರ್ದರ್ ಆಸಿಡ್ ಹೈಡ್ರಾಲಿಸಿಸ್, ಯು ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಎಂಡ್ ಅಪ್ ವಿತ್ ದ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಫಿನಾಲ್. ಅಂಡ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಸೋಡಿಯಂ ಬೆನ್ಸಿನ್ ಸಲ್ಫೋನೇಟ್ ಇರಬೇಕಂತ ಏನಿಲ್ಲ, ಈವನ್ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಗೋ ಫಾರ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ವಿತ್ ಬೆನ್ಸಿನ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ. ಸೊ ಬೆನ್ಸಿನ್ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಓಲಿಯಂ ಜೊತೆ ಟ್ರೀಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. H2SO7 ಓಲಿಯಂ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ. So that is a highly concentrated fuming sulfuric acid, oleum. When benzene is treated with oleum, then it is treated with NaOH. First ನಿಮಗೆ ಬೆನ್ಸಿನ್ ಓಲಿಯಂ ಜೊತೆ ಟ್ರೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಬೆನ್ಸಿನ್ ಸಲ್ಫೋನಿಕ್ ಆಸಿಡ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ. ಆ ಬೆನ್ಸಿನ್ ಸಲ್ಫೋನಿಕ್ ಆಸಿಡ್ನ NaOH ಜೊತೆ ಹೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ, ಮೋಲ್ಟನ್ ಸೋಡಿಯಂ ಹೈಡ್ರಾಕ್ಸ್ ಜೊತೆ ಹೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ನಿಮಗೆ ಸೋಡಿಯಂ ಬೆನ್ಸಿನ್ ಸಲ್ಫೋನೇಟ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಫರ್ದರ್ ಅದು ಸೋಡಿಯಂ ಬೆನ್ಸಿನ್ ಸಲ್ಫೋನೇಟ್ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಸೋಡಿಯಂ ಫಿನೇಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ದೆನ್ ಆ ಸೋಡಿಯಂ ಫಿನೇಟ್ನ ಆಸಿಡ್ ಹೈಡ್ರಾಲಿಸಿಸ್ಗೆ ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಫೈನಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಏನು ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಯು ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಎಂಡ್ ಅಪ್ ವಿತ್ ದ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಫಿನಾಲ್. ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಮೆಥಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಕನ್ವರ್ಷನ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಮೆಥಡ್ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ವಿತ್ ದ RMgX. ಇಲ್ಲಿ RMgX ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆರ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿದೆ, ಫಿನೈಲ್ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಇದೆ, ಮೆಗ್ನೀಷಿಯಂ, ಅಂಡ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ Br ಇದೆ. ಲೈಕ್ RMgX, ಯು ನೋ ದ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಫಾರ್ Grignard reagent. And here we are taking aryl group, that is C6H5 phenyl group, phenyl magnesium bromide. When phenyl magnesium bromide is subjected for hydrolysis process, acid hydrolysis process, by passing oxygen or excess of oxygen, you can consider, or you can consider it is treated, it is actually reacting with oxygen, then further it will undergo reaction with water in the presence of acid, then you are going to get the conversion into phenol. That is another method. And next method of conversion, that is by Dow's process. Dow's process ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ಲೋರೋಬೆನ್ಸಿನ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ರಿಯೇಜೆಂಟ್ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಈ ಕ್ಲೋರೋಬೆನ್ಸಿನ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಆಲ್ಕಲಿ ಜೊತೆ ಟ್ರೀಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ್ದು ಆಲ್ಕಲಿಲಿ, ಸೋಡಿಯಂ ಹೈಡ್ರಾಕ್ಸೈಡ್. Then it is subjected for acidification. As you know, chlorobenzene when treated with sodium hydroxide, you will get sodium phenate, C6H5ONa. Sodium phenate almost intermediate compound bande barutte in most of the reactions. So formula for sodium phenate is C6H5ONa. Then that sodium phenate on acidification with HCl, you will get finally conversion into phenol. ಆ process ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, Dow's process ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. And next method by Rastrich's process. So Rastrich process ಅಲ್ಲಿ starting reagent ಏನಿದೆ, benzene ಇದೆ. So benzene, it is acidified in the presence of oxygen on acidification along with passing oxygen. But what are the conditions required for this Rastrich's process? Temperature 500 Kelvin and in the presence of catalyst like copper chloride or ferric chloride, then you are going to get the conversion into chlorobenzene because they are halogen carriers. And here, once you get that chlorobenzene formation, that is on further hydrolysis at 425 degrees Celsius, you can get the conversion of chlorobenzene into phenol. That process is specifically called as Rastrich's process. And in the next method, that is by decarboxylation process. Actually, the starting reagent here it is sodium salicylate. ಸ್ಯಾಲಿಸಿಲಿಕ್ ಆಸಿಡ್ಗೆ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ C6H5OH ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ H ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಣ್ಣೆ ಇದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಸೋಡಿಯಂ ಸ್ಯಾಲಿಸಿಲೇಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಸ್ಯಾಡಿ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ sodium salicylate on reaction with mixture that is CaO and NaOH. So here we can consider it as soda lime, correct? So when sodium salicylate is treated with soda lime, that is actually reaction of the sodium salicylate with NaOH in the presence of CaO, it is undergoing decarboxylation. And decarboxylation andre removal of carbon dioxide actually. So here there will be removal of Na2CO3 remove ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ Na2 C ಇಲ್ಲಿ 2 ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಆಟಮ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಇಲ್ಲೊಂದು ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಆಟಮ್ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ Na2 ಇದೆರಡು ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. CONA interact with NaOH and it helps for the removal of Na2CO3. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ Na2CO3 ಏನಿದೆ COO ರಿಮೂವ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Hence it is called as decarboxylation. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಉಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ H ಉಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೆ. That H will take the position of this benzene ring at this position. Hence you are getting that conversion into phenol. OH group ಹಾಗೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಈ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಸೊ CO in a group is replaced by hydrogen atom. Hence you are getting the conversion into phenol, and that method of conversion of sodium salicylate into phenol by using soda lime can be considered as decarboxylation process. The next method, that is by starting with benzene diazonium chloride. ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ ಅನಿಲಿನ ನೈಟ್ರಸ್ ಆಸಿಡ್ ಜೊತೆ ಟ್ರೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ, ಅಂದರೆ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ when aniline is treated with HNO3 and sodium HCl, when aniline is treated with HCl and sodium nitride, so you will get the conversion into HNO2, nitrous acid formation ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಆ ನೈಟ್ರಸ್ ಆಸಿಡ್ ಅನಿಲಿನ ಬೆನ್ಸಿನ್ ಡೈಸೋನಿಯಂ ಕ್ಲೋರೈಡ್ ಆಗಿ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಆಗೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಬಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್ ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫಿಕ್ ಆಗಿ 0 to 5 ಡಿಗ್ರಿ ಸೆಲ್ಸಿಯಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅಟ್ ಲೋ ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್. ಸೊ ಒನ್ಸ್ ನಿಮಗೆ ಬೆನ್ಸಿನ್ ಡೈಸೋನಿಯಂ ಕ್ಲೋರೈಡ್ ಬಂತು ಅಂದರೆ, ಈಗ ಬೆನ್ಸಿನ್ ರಿಂಗ್ಗೆ N ಟ್ರಿಪಲ್ ಬಾಂಡ್ N ಸಿಂಗಲ್ ಬಾಂಡ್ Cl, ಇಲ್ಲಿ N ಟ್ರಿಪಲ್ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಇಲ್ಲೊಂದು ಬಾಂಡ್ ಇದೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ 3 ಬಾಂಡ್ಸ್ ಬಂದಾಗ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಸಾಲ್ಟ್. ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ನೇಮ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಸಾಲ್ಟ್? ಬೆನ್ಸಿನ್ ಡೈಅಜೋನಿಯಂ ಕ್ಲೋರೈಡ್. ಸೊ ಒನ್ಸ್ ದಿಸ್ ಬೆನ್ಸಿನ್ ಡೈಅಜೋನಿಯಂ ಕ್ಲೋರೈಡ್ ಈಸ್ ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟೆಡ್ ಫಾರ್ acid hydrolysis, then it results in the formation of what? Phenols. Got it? So it is easy conversion of benzene diazonium chloride into phenol by acid hydrolysis process. Then one more method here it is given. It is very important process, as you know. You have already learnt in the theoretical concepts also. That is well known as what? Cumming process. So here we can start with the cumin itself. So here cumin named as isopropyl benzene. Cumin, or it is also considered as isopropyl benzene. Cumin is the commercial name. So isopropyl benzene. So 2-phenyl propane we can consider it as IUPAC name. When cumin is subjected or it is treated with oxygen on passing oxygen at what temperature? 130 degrees Celsius. Then you are getting the conversion into cumin hydroperoxide. So here there is a addition of 2 oxygen atoms in between carbon and hydrogen. So hence it is converting into cumin hydroperoxide. Then further this cumin hydroperoxide is subjected for acid hydrolysis, or it is treated with very dilute sulfuric acid, as you can consider at what temperature? 100 degrees Celsius. Then you can easily get the conversion into phenol. Here actually there is removal of what? Acetone will be removed here. CH3CO, CH3 will get removed. Hence you will get the addition, this OH group will get attached to benzene ring, and there will be removal of CH3CO, CH3. So which are the 2 products obtained in the cumin process? One is phenol and another will be acetone. Got it? These are the different set of reactions which includes the preparation of the phenols by different methods. Next, we have to remember very importantly, there will be differentiating test or very distinguished test which is used to identify phenol. Which are those 2 important tests you have to remember from examination point of view? You have to remember there are 2 tests to identify whether the given compound is phenol or not. So very first one is neutral ferric chloride test, and other one is bromine water test. So actually with respect to neutral ferric chloride test, so here phenol on reacting with neutral ferric chloride, you are going to get the violet color. On reacting and making it to combining with neutral ferric chloride, immediately you will get violet color. So that violet color formation indicates the presence of the phenols. And one more important test is that is bromine water test. When phenol is made to reacting with bromine water, so that is bromine in the presence of water medium, then we can consider bromine water. In the presence of bromine water, you are going to get the formation of white precipitate. That represents the formation of 2,4,6 tribromophenol. 2,4,6 tribromophenol. Actually, the formation of 2,4,6 tribromophenol indicates the presence of this phenolic group. So that is called as bromine water test. In the bromine water test, when phenol is treated with bromine water, what precipitate you will get? White precipitate. That precipitate is obtained through the formation of 2,4,6 tribromophenol. Then you have to remember these are the two important differentiating tests to identify the phenol. Next we can go for chemical properties of phenols. So there are various reagents which can easily interact with phenols to get different types of products. As you know, we can consider different electrophilic substitution reactions. Even phenol can undergo different electrophilic substitution reactions. So and here we can start with bromination, that is halogenation of phenol. When phenol is subjected for bromination in the presence of non-polar solvent like carbon disulfide, CS2 is actually non-polar solvent. So hence we can consider there will be bromination taking place in the non-polar solvent, hence the electron density will be comparatively less. Therefore, it will result in the formation of mono-substituted products either at ortho position or at para position. So, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕು, ಇದು ನಾನ್ ಪೋಲಾರ್ ಸಾಲ್ವೆಂಟ್, ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಟೂ ಟೈಪ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೈಮಲ್ಟೇನಿಯಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಆರ್ಥೋ ಮತ್ತು ಪ್ಯಾರಾ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಐದರ್ ಆರ್ಥೋ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ಪ್ಯಾರಾ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Therefore, you are getting orthobromophenol as well as parabromophenol. But which is that major one, you know that? So para position, it will be stabilized because there will be no steric repulsion. So here parabromophenol will be more stable. And next, the same phenol when it is subjected for bromination in the presence of aqueous medium. So aqueous medium is again agate. It is acting as a good nucleophile. So here we can consider, that is not nucleophile, electrophile. Here there will be easy attack of the Br plus simultaneously at ortho positions as well as at para positions. Therefore, in the aqueous medium, in the polar solvent, you are getting the formation of 2,4,6 tribromophenol, that is tri-substituted product you are going to get. It is one of the important product you have to remember. This product is obtained only in the presence of polar solvent, that is water, not in the non-polar solvent. That you should remember. These are the two different tests with respect to bromination for phenol. Next, with the acids. So, one dilute nitric acid is there. Phenol when treated with dilute nitric acid, then what you are going to expect? Here you are going to expect the formation of two types of product, mixture of two products. One is at ortho position, other one is at para position. So nitro group. So here nitration is done in the presence of only dilute HNO3 if you consider ortho nitrophenol and para nitrophenol you are going to get, which is that major product. Para nitrophenol is major product. And similarly, if it is subjected for sulfonation with the help of concentrated H2SO4, then what you are expecting here, with concentrated H2SO4, you are going to get the formation of again two types of products. One is orthohydroxybenzene sulfonic acid, other one is para-hydroxybenzene sulfonic acid. So here para is major product. Then There are two set of reactions which are popularly called as what? Reimer-Tiemann's reaction. So here Reimer-Tiemann's reaction includes the conversion of phenol into salicylaldehyde and phenol into salicylic acid. There are two conversions. It is salicylaldehyde and the one is salicylic acid. Salicylic acid. How do you convert phenol into, that is salicylaldehyde? So here we require the mixture of chloroform and sodium hydroxide. When phenol is heated with mixture of chloroform and sodium hydroxide, then it is converting into salicylaldehyde. But when the same phenol is treated with mixture of carbon tetrachloride and sodium hydroxide, then it will end up with the formation of salicylic acid. You have to remember these are the two products, and you have to remember carefully which are those reagents required for these two conversions. It is called as what reaction? Reimer-Tiemann's reaction. The next set of reactions regarding phenol. So phenol can subjected for nitration when phenol is treated with nitrating mixture. Which is that nitrating mixture? That is mixture of concentrated HNO3 and concentrated H2SO4. Here you are going to get the substitution at ortho positions as well as at para positions. So nitro group electrophile will get substituted at ortho and para positions. Hence you are going to get the formation of 2,4,6 trinitrophenol. So the commercial name picric acid. This is one of the important compound you have to remember. So that is, what is the IUPAC name for picric acid? That is 2,4,6 trinitrophenol. So it is one of the strongest acid you can consider. Then when phenol is treated with carbon dioxide, on passing carbon dioxide gas at 140 degrees Celsius at around pressure 1, that is 6 to 8 atmospheric pressure, you are going to get a conversion into sodium salicylate first step. And that sodium salicylate, on further acidification with dilute HCl, you are going to get the final product, that is salicylic acid. ಒಟ್ಟಾರೆ ಕೋಲ್ ಬೇಸ್ ಪ್ರೋಸೆಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಯಾವ್ದನ್ನ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ, ಫಿನಾಲ್ ನ ಸ್ಯಾಲಿಸಿಲಿಕ್ ಆಸಿಡ್ ಆಗಿ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ. So which is that end product obtained during that coal based process? You have to remember, or Kolb's process you can remember, that is nothing but salicylic acid. And next, when phenol is distilled with zinc or heated with zinc dust, what you are expecting? The product X, if they make you to identify a product X, then you have to remember that is benzene. So zinc will combine with oxygen and this H will be retained in the benzene ring. Then you are going to get the formation of benzene. Next one, when phenol is treated with ammonia in the presence of anhydrous zinc chloride as a catalyst, then you are going to get the formation of the product, that is aniline. NH2 will get substituted to the benzene ring, hence it results in the formation of aniline. And next reaction, esterification. Phenol, either it can be reacting with acid chloride or acid anhydride. Yavadana bekara togoli, both will undergo what? Esterification reaction. Hence you are going to get the formation of RCOCl. If it interacts with the OH group, then you can expect the removal of H along with the Cl. Then there will be addition of RCO group to this oxygen atom. Hence you will get the formation of RCOO. Here another R. That is nothing but ester. And even RCOO twice O, you can consider acetic anhydride as an example. So here you can get the same product, that is nothing but you are getting the ester as the final product, even the reaction between phenol and acid anhydride. And next, when that is phenol is made to react with sodium dichromate Na2Cr2O7 on oxidation, it will result in the oxidation process, and hence you are going to get the final product, that is benzoquinone. You have to remember which is that product obtained on reacting phenol with sodium dichromate, that you have to remember benzoquinone. Next we can go for regarding acidic strength of phenols. As you know, phenols are more acidic than alcohols. But even if we consider substitution with respect to phenols, there will be difference with respect to its acidic character also. It depends on whether phenol is substituted by electron withdrawing group or electron releasing group. So there will be, we can expect both resonance effect as well as inductive effect with respect to those substituent groups here. So you just simply remember that wherever there is a presence of electron withdrawing groups such as NO2 group, halogen group, that is halide group, cyanide group or aldehyde group, then they are helping to withdraw the electron density away from that phenoxide ion. So that is C6H5O minus. It stabilizes that phenoxide ion and increases the acidic strength. And in case if the substituent groups are electron releasing groups, which are those electron releasing groups? Like alkyl groups, that is CH3 you can consider, OH, or alkoxy like OCH3, methoxy, then NH2 groups. E groups iddaga enagutte, they will release the electron towards the benzene ring. So it destabilizes the phenoxide ion, hence it decreases the acidic strength. So ಒಟ್ಟಿನಲ್ಲಿ electron withdrawing group ಇದ್ರೆ acidity ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, electron releasing group ಇದ್ರೆ acidity ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅದನ್ನ ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. Then so examination ಅಲ್ಲಿ different options ಕೊಟ್ಟಾಗ next order na consider ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ you had to click for the right answer. You had to consider which is that correct order with respect to their acidic strength. Then you had to consider these set of order. So in the very first example ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ, electron withdrawing groups na ಮಾತ್ರ consider ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ and phenol ಜೊತೆ ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ regarding acidic strength. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ first picric acid ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ, 3 positions ಅಲ್ಲಿ 2,4,6 trinitrophenol 3 positions allo nitro group substitute agide. Next 2,4-dinitrophenol, next para-nitrophenol. So next ortho-nitrophenol. Illi electron withdrawing groups 2 ide, illi electron withdrawing groups 3 ide. So ee 3 examples alli electron withdrawing group 1 ide, but positions change agide. Para position, ortho position, meta position. Last alli phenol consider ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. So ಒಟ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಫಿನಾಲ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ನೈಟ್ರೋಫಿನಾಲ್ಸ್ ನ ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ನೈಟ್ರೋಫಿನಾಲ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಮೋರ್ ಅಸಿಡಿಕ್ ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಟು ಫಿನಾಲ್ ಅಂತ ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಈಗ ಅಮಾಂಗ್ ದೀಸ್ ನೈಟ್ರೋಫಿನಾಲ್ಸ್ ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಮೋರ್ ದ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ನೈಟ್ರೋ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ಸ್ ಮೋರ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ದ ಅಸಿಡಿಕ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂತ್ ಅಂತ ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ದೇರ್ಫೋರ್ ಪಿಕ್ರಿಕ್ ಆಸಿಡ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಂಗೆಸ್ಟ್ ಆಸಿಡ್ with respect to nitrophenols, and that is phenols. Then it comes 2,4-dinitrophenol. ಈಗ ಒನ್ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಪ್ಯಾರಾ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಆರ್ಥೋ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಮೆಟಾ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಈಗ ಪ್ಯಾರಾ, ಆರ್ಥೋ ಮತ್ತು ಮೆಟಾ ಪೊಸಿಷನಲ್ಲಿ ಸೊ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಅಸಿಡಿಕ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂತ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ? ಸೊ ಆರ್ಥೋ ನೈಟ್ರೋಫಿನಾಲ್ ಬಂದಾಗ ಸಿನ್ಸ್ ದಟ್ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಆಟಮ್ ಆಫ್ ದ OH group is involved in the hydrogen bond with the nitro group, the acidic strength will get decreases. Therefore para-nitrophenol is more acidic compared to ortho-nitrophenol. ಸೊ ಮೆಟಾನೈಟ್ರೋಫಿನಾಲ್ ಯಾಕೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅಸಿಡಿಕ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂತ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದರೆ, ಮೆಟಾ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ ನಿಮಗೆ ನೈಟ್ರೋ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನಾಟ್, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂಡಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಬಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಇನ್ವಾಲ್ವ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ ದ ರೆಸೊನೆನ್ಸ್ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್, ಹೆನ್ಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಹೆಲ್ಪಿಂಗ್ ಟು ವಿತ್ಡ್ರಾ ದ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಬೈ ರೆಸೊನೆನ್ಸ್ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್, ಹೆನ್ಸ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಅಸಿಡಿಕ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂತ್ ಇಸ್ ಲೆಸ್ಸರ್ ಕಂಪೇರ್ಡ್ ಟು ಪ್ಯಾರಾ ಅಂಡ್ ಆರ್ಥೋ. ಅಂಡ್ ಫೈನಲಿ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ that metanitrophenol will be more acidic than that is phenol. Then another set of example. If you consider cresol, that is with respect to the example like to the benzene ring there is attachment of what? There is attachment of one side there is as usual OH, another side there will be presence of CH3. It is called as cresol. So ಈಗ positions na with respect to methyl group either it is ಆರ್ಥೋಕ್ರೆಸಾಲ್ ಆರ್ ಮೆಟಾಕ್ರೆಸಾಲ್ ಆರ್ ಪ್ಯಾರಾಕ್ರೆಸಾಲ್. ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮಿಥೈಲ್ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಡಿಸ್ಟಬಿಲೈಸ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ರಿಲೀಸಿಂಗ್ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟಬಿಲೈಸಸ್ ದ ಫಿನಾಕ್ಸೈಡ್ ಅಯಾನ್. Once there is release of H plus ion, there is a formation of phenoxide ion as you know, and this methyl group, it destabilizes this ion, O minus ion, because of electron releasing effect, and it decreases the acidic character. At what positions you can consider? Among phenol and these cresols, actually phenol is more stable and they are destabilizing, hence they are less stable compared to phenol. But among these three, which is not disturbing much, if the methyl group is at meta position, then it is not involved in resonance, hence it is not destabilizing to more extent. Therefore, metacresol is more acidic. Then among paracresol and orthocresol, ಯಾವುದು ಕಡಿಮೆ ಡಿಸ್ಟಬಿಲೈಸ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ? ಸೊ ಪ್ಯಾರಾಕ್ರೆಸಾಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ, ಸೊ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಡಿಸ್ಟಬಿಲೈಸ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಆರ್ಥೋಕ್ರೆಸಾಲ್ ತುಂಬ ನಿಯರ್ ಬೈ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಬೇಗ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ರಿಲೀಸ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಬೇಗ ಡಿಸ್ಟಬಿಲೈಸ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. Therefore, among orthocresol and ಪ್ಯಾರಾಕ್ರೆಸಾಲ್ ಈಸ್ ಮೋರ್ ಅಸ್ಟಿಕ್. ಯಾವುದು ಕಡಿಮೆ ಡಿಸ್ಟಬಿಲೈಸ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಅದು ಮೋರ್ ಅಸ್ಟಿಕ್, ಅದನ್ನು ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. Therefore, this is the right order for this cresols with respect to phenol. And finally, if we compare phenol, then electron releasing groups and electron withdrawing groups, how we can give the order? So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ನೈಟ್ರೋ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ತಗೊಂಡಿದೆ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಕಡೆ ಕ್ಲೋರಿನ್ ಇದೆ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಕಡೆ phenol. Simply we can consider phenol. Other side there is a presence of the methyl group. Then what is that order you can expect? You remember para position ಎಲ್ಲ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ, ಅಂಡ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ಲೋರಿನ್ ಇದೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೈಟ್ರೋ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಇದೆ. ಇವೆರಡರಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದು ಮೋರ್ ಅಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ nitro group is more stronger to withdraw the electron when compared to chlorine here. Therefore, para-nitrophenol is more acidic compared to para-chlorophenol. Then which is more acidic compared to phenol? And phenol is more acidic than para-cresol. And here if we consider methoxy group, it is releasing much electrons. It is releasing more easily compared to cresol. Hence, it is more destabilizing and less acidic, least acidic in nature. These are the different examples with respect to the order of the acidic strength. You have to remember this is very much important. They can raise the question and they can opt for relevant answer with respect to the order. Either they can ask with respect to increasing order or decreasing order. You should remember in either way. That is regarding synapses for phenols. In the next video session, I am going to give the synapses for ethers.